coming up.
Do you say anything to your kids that's like,
Shut up, go to bed.
So I was like, oh my God, what's happened? And then I was like, be calm. And he was going,
The one and only David Gandy.
Thanks, guys.
what were you like when your partner was in labour?
Oh, I failed at that. Tens machine. That's like, oh God.
You weren't there for a chat in the bedroom,
I
were you,
wasn't
David?
there. I wasn't
Come
there.
on.
I don't want that bedroom.
Hello, son. I'm just
open.
going to go upstairs and bang your daughter. Lovely to meet you. I'm David. Welcome back to No Parental Guidance. I can't believe we're fully in October already.
I know, we are fully into autumn now. The weather is cooling down, the hot chocolates are being poured, and of course, it's officially that brilliant time of year.
That's right, it's spooky season. And to kick off our countdown to Halloween, Card Factory are sponsoring No Parental Guidance for the whole month of October.
That's absolutely right. We are so thrilled. We've been planning so much fun with them, and it's all going to culminate in a special Halloween episode at the end of the month. You won't want to miss this, so make sure you hit subscribe.
So if you have a specific Halloween fail, please drop it in the comments below.
Should we get into the chaos of the week?
Absolutely.
Ooh, let's do it. Hannah, how have you been?
I've been good. How have you been?
All right, actually. I missed ballet pickup yesterday.
You forgot to pick your daughter up.
I got the
completely.
wrong time, and I don't know how I managed to do that because it's been the same time for the last however long.
Never
and
changed.
No, but for whatever reason, yesterday I thought, well, pickup's at 5:30, but it's not, it's 5:15. So I got there and no one was there. Panic. And then I got a text from a mum saying, I've just dropped your daughter off at your house because you weren't there.
But then you weren't at your house because
Well,
you went to...
My husband was there, but yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I know. But you're just like, oh, come on. How
Yeah.
did I, you know...
And
So,
you
yeah.
think to yourself, 3 kids deep, I should know what I'm doing.
I should know what I'm doing.
But we don't.
How about you?
Annabelle was having a tea. She's 2. And I put the TV on so people can judge me if they want to. She was watching Paw Patrol because she loves it.
Yep.
I was trying to tidy up and the house was a tip. And I was like, oh my God, I've been working all day. My middle child, Logan, I said, you've got to do your homework. I asked him about 18 times to go and get his homework book. He was chewing this pen that had like dinosaur prongs at the top of it. And then I was like, right, your dinner's ready, served it up. And I was carrying it into the living room and I looked over and Logan just went, ah, you know, and you can tell it's serious. And I was like, oh my God. As I went over, he like pushed his tongue forwards and blood just went
my God.
everywhere down his white school shirt.
God,
I was like,
Halloween
well,
has
that's
come
bloody
early.
ruined then, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, and I was like, Logan. And I was like, what's happened? He's like, ah. And you know, when you look around and think, nobody else is here. So
Yeah.
Annabelle hasn't just drop kicked him. I know she's 2 and he's 7, but she drop kicks him. And I was like, what on earth has happened? And basically he was chewing the sharp end of this pen and he fell on it.
Oh
He
my
slipped
gosh.
on it. I'm not
Oh
joking.
no, that's
it split
awful.
his lip open. He's got the most gorgeous, juicy lips. Like he hasn't got slit lips like me. He's got lips like his dad, like really juicy. Halfway down his lip to halfway down his chin was open.
Gosh.
And my reaction as a mum to be a calm parent was like, what the fuck has happened? So I was like, oh my God, what's happened? And then I was like, be calm. And he was going, "Ugh." And then he was like looking down, there's blood everywhere. And I grabbed him. The first thing I did was hug him.
yeah.
So it was all in my
you got
hair,
blood everywhere. Yep.
everywhere just to try and calm him down. And I was like, we need to go to A&E. We need to go to a doctor
Gosh, you don't need that
to
at
stitch
tea
it back
time.
together. Yeah, but the problem is he already has a scar from one side of his chin to the other where he was dancing in the toilet cubicle and he fell and he smashed his chin, split his chin open on the toilet seat at school.
Crikey.
That was 3.5 months ago now.
gosh.
And I felt so bad for him. So I had to get him to the doctor. They wouldn't glue it because anyway, he had all these strips to kind of knit it back together.
I don't think that's a fail. I think that's a triumph considering
Yeah.
all the that you had going on as well.
And you can never predict one day to the other
No.
what they're going to do. What fail have you got?
Well, actually, my mum came round. That's not a fail. But we started talking about the podcast and she was like, well, do you remember? Because obviously she's got loads of parenting fails. And so we started talking about when I was a kid. And I wanted to share this one today because we still use it today. When we were kids, mum used to, read us a story, tuck us in and, say goodnight. And when she would turn the light switch off and as she was walking out the door, she would always say, Cobblers. And it wasn't until years later when you realise that Cobblers actually means what a load of rubbish, that I said to her, Mum, just a question, why did you say Cobblers when you were putting us to bed? And she was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, you would say, you know, love you, Cobblers. And she went, oh my God, I was saying God bless.
Oh.
And so for years, for our entire childhoods, we thought that our mum was going, love you, what a load of rubbish.
Secretly, she's going,
saying,
you, and shutting the door.
So now we will still say, you know, on the phone call, all right then, all right, love you, Cobblers.
Really?
Yeah, we'll still say it.
But you look back and you have these little things that you do with the kids, and somebody will probably talk about it in the future, and I'll be like, that's what's lovely about this podcast. We're kind of like reminiscing.
I know, it is like reminiscing,
like, oh God,
and it's also like therapy.
It is, yeah. And then it's like, was that normal? And if we give each other that look, like, I'm not sure.
Did you not go through that phase though? Maybe it's, actually my daughter only did this. I think when Annabelle's a bit older, she might do this. But if I sing in the car, she's like, Mummy, you cannot sing. Do not sing.
Really?
Don't even think about it. So then I'll mime. I'm like, and she's like, stop it.
But do you remember when your own parents did that? My dad used to be like, hey, chart the stars, climb every mountain, hey. I'm like, Dad, we stopped singing like that. That is us.
Remember that.
That is us now.
And my mum used to harmonise as well in the car. So she'd be there like giving an extra harmony, and I'd be like, shut up, stop harmonising.
You're ruining the Spice Girls, Mum.
Although she used to be a singer, so, you know, she can actually hit those notes. But anyway.
Do you say anything to your kids? It's like, do you have a little thing that you...
Shut up, go to bed. I've had enough. No,
I'm done with you.
I've had enough. That's it. Oh, yeah.
We've got a very exciting guest on today.
Rather exciting, rather dashing guest.
It's funny because all the women from the whole production team, plus more, have attended today.
There seems to be more women in the studio today. I
than I've
wonder
ever seen.
why that is.
I wonder.
Is that a coincidence?
We're getting giddy already. We can't be like this.
Cool.
We are professionals, Louise.
I feel like I'm sweating already.
Yeah, I know. We've put deodorant on like 4 times. We're like, I don't know why. It's really cold in here.
Yeah, it's freezing in here. Yeah, we're still sweating. We're so excited to have him, and it's such a privilege to welcome the one and only David Gandy.
Woo! David Gandy. Can we just repeat that for anybody that's listening? We have got David Gandy on the podcast.
Yes. And if
ladies, drop what you're doing.
Yeah, and if you are watching on YouTube, he is in his teeny tiny white pants. He's not really.
He's not really. We did ask though, and
we did ask. We did ask.
Yeah.
Anyway,
when
David,
you said that, I went, am I?
Yes. What pants am I wearing? How are you, David?
I'm very well.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I know that you
Thank you for having
actually
me.
flew in from New York yesterday, quite jet lagged, and
I mean,
although you don't look it, literally.
Obviously.
I know I do. I know you're lying, but there's a I mean, I was kind of back to old school to be honest, because I haven't been away for a while.
Yeah,
been doing this parenting.
Parenting thing. Let's talk about
back to my stomping ground in New York, and
did it feel good?
Got
this
back
is
to
what
being
life used to be like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And who does the organising in your house? Like on a morning, getting the kids up, the breakfast, ready for school. Who is the person?
So I mean, I do the mornings. They're up with me, so I do the breakfast and the snack box. And
what's the age gap between your girls?
Just under 3 years.
And so, how old are they now?
Nearly 7 and nearly 4 is the easiest way of saying it. I put everything out in the evening. I don't know whether in the morning. I'm not
you're
a
an
morning
organizer.
person. I am an organizer.
Is there anything wrong with you at all? No.
Well, if you had my wife here, then you'd be. She
what
would
would
tell
she?
you.
What would she say then?
Tell
What
you.
would she say that you do that's really irritating as a parent?
We were discussing. We had a dinner party a few weeks ago with friends, and it was like our friends were discussing. You do this really annoying thing, and then I said, "What's annoying about me?" And she went, "You do this really annoying thing when you're happy."
When you're happy, you're really
happy. Kind of like you do this humming thing. You go and go. I'm like, and literally I went, "I'm sorry, I'm happy."
I should find that annoying. Oh my God.
Really annoying. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Do you know that you're doing it?
No.
Oh. And do you do the school run?
Depends, like, because Steph's a barrister, so she works, and it's our schedules. Neither of us really know our schedules. As a barrister, you will not know it on a weekly basis. It's literally you go, "Oh, I haven't got anything this week," and then she's like, "No, I'm in Canterbury tomorrow, then I'm in somewhere else. Wow. Can you do the kids?" I'm like, "Yep." Well, I'm cancelling. I might have to cancel something or be late for something.
Where were you in your career when you became a father?
in a good position. I mean, that there was, like when me and Steph got together, there was, after a while, there was a conversation like, when are children?
Yeah.
One of the reasons I sort of said, look, I haven't had a life. I have just been working solidly. I didn't have holidays. I didn't take time off. I spent Christmases alone because I was so exhausted sometimes. I went, I'm just doing Christmas on my own. And I just said, I just want 2 years of us to enjoy being together.
And how did you meet?
We met through one of my good friends.
Right.
We knew each other kind of before.
Yeah.
But weirdly, we only lived about a mile and a half away.
It's so strange how that happens, isn't it? You meet someone, it's like, oh, you live down the road.
Yeah.
And it's just naturally a natural meet. And
Then we arranged to go for a date, but Steph is terrible on directions, so she ended up in the wrong pub.
Oh.
And you thought she'd stood you up?
Yeah.
Love that.
And then so that was the kind of conversation. And I kind of knew I was transitioning all like the companies and everything else from being so mad at like 80, 90 flights a year to transition into having the contracts to starting my own thing to changing all the companies. So I basically in London because I couldn't have had kids before that. I was never here.
How many flights did you just say there?
I used to do about 90 a year.
Wow. All over the world.
Yeah.
Obviously. That's crazy.
Do you fly with you fly with your kids, and I guess it's a completely different experience, isn't it, when you fly with kids and you realise, oh my God, I really miss just flying by myself. And
it was like a dream going to New York. It was just an absolute dream. I think I just sat there and didn't really put any moves on, just sat there.
Gin and tonic, please.
Yeah, so much. Hello. Slowly came back to being, oh my God.
This is what it was like before. Good. So, like, if your daughters wanted to get into the fashion industry, what would you say? Yes, no, whatever?
I'm often asked that. There's nothing, I actually was doing a speech last night and someone asked me the same question. I said, they can do whatever they want after 25. That's absolutely
25.
Fine. I mean, I've definitely seen the difficulties of putting someone too young.
Yeah. It's much
I also said by the time my daughters will get, I'm not sure the industry it's definitely not the industry it was.
I was just going to say that because both of you, I've never felt so attractive sitting with you two. Oh yeah, I started modelling when I was 14 and I'm sat here like, got a face like a bag of spanners next to you two. But what is the industry like now compared to when you started for both of you, from a male and female perspective?
He's more in it than I am now.
No, it's I think the world of influencers and the digital world has completely changed the modelling world.
Right,
agree, definitely agree.
It's just like almost like chalk and cheese now. So it's about engagement and numbers and social media and
followers and likes.
Yeah.
That's a validation there, is it?
Yeah. So you would never, and I want to talk about your Wellwear because they're really, really beautiful. They're really, really well made, and my husband's obsessed with them.
And pants.
We have a pair of the Wellwear pants.
Very soft.
Very soft. And if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see this.
Yeah. And don't forget to obviously subscribe if you're on YouTube right now watching.
But I like that. I like that. It's just very kind of subtle.
We don't have big branding on everything. It's a little bit
there you
more
go,
discreet.
David. You can change just behind there.
Just want to strip off this, David. That's great.
How does so you're obviously a very busy entrepreneur. How do you juggle that with parenting?
Just juggling.
When
it's just like daddy.
Constantly, David, constantly.
I love this. He's normal. Yeah. It's so true. It's like,
that's my time.
Never
I
ends.
have to just take myself off. Just for like.
Yeah. Where would you go to take yourself off?
I can't find anywhere now because even on the toilet, my children have now worked out how to unlock the door.
Oh, they're clever.
I went through this on my phone. But I was this is just ridiculous. Like, I'm looking after the kids and they're like, Daddy. I'm just on the loo. I'll be out in 5 minutes. And I can hear and I can see the lock. It goes. And she got it to my daughter Matilda, got a 10p piece and unlocked it. And there are the two of them there going, we want to be in here with you. I was like, what? I don't even want to be in here with me. Like, why would you want to be here? And then the dog who doesn't want to be alone turns up as well. So now, like, Tabs is like juggling toilet rolls, Matilda's washing hands. And we've got, like, our downstairs loo isn't, he's like the smallest room in the house. And there's just all of us in there. I'm like, I literally just took a picture, sent it to one of the dads, Rich, my friend. And I was like, I can't even get 5 minutes. Sometimes that is about our only 20 minutes on our own. Is just on the loo. Yeah. Like always said in a home, what should you have? And I was like, a man needs a shitter. like that no one else is allowed in. That you just sit there and go.
Do you have any parenting fails that you can share?
I mean, probably too many to talk about, and they're little things.
What were you like when your partner was in labour?
Oh, I failed at that. But I
Here
think,
we go.
I think failed in a. We still argue about what happened because I kind of turned into George Clooney from ER.
Right.
I suddenly thought I'm delivering this baby. I was fascinated by the whole process. I was down the business end. The midwife had to ask me if she could have her stool back and whether I could get out the way.
Oh my God,
to
I
that
love
point.
that.
So I was there for that. I mean, the Matilda was difficult. It went on for, I mean, poor Steph. It was, I always say, it's like watching something attack your partner that you love so much and you can't do anything about it apart from a TENS machine and
rubbing backs.
Yeah,
Or do what my husband did and just go for a coffee.
My husband went to the cheese counter for an hour. I'm not kidding.
My husband was so worried that we were going to get a parking ticket. He was like, I've only put 4 hours on the car. And at that point I was like, why the f*** did you put 4 hours on? I was there for 4 days. Jesus Christ.
It sounds like you were very much involved. I love
So
that.
you were
Sorry,
so at the
carry
business
on.
end. That's impressive.
Yeah. Also, I've got film. I feel like Matilda, like, crown her headers out like this.
Wow.
You have to take a picture of that.
If
You
my
have to
husband
and
tried to
film.
take a
I don't
picture
know
of
if
my when my baby
but
was hanging out with you.
it wasn't, there's nothing at that point. There's nothing sexual or anything about it. It's just this miracle. And I was just fascinated by the whole thing. Because it is like, you can't see anything. It's a baby's head.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating. And Tabs was lazy. Tabs kind of shot out the second time. It was a lot quicker. But I couldn't leave. Steph she didn't want me to leave with Matilda because it was, and I sort of remember I had like the TENS machine sort of going and then music and, you know, Steph joked she was on sort of like gas and air and she was like bouncing on the ball. And then I think the TENS machine sort of went off for like 3 seconds and she kind of had the gas and air. It kind of changes your voice and she kind of just went, TENS machine. That's like, oh God. It's like possessed woman.
Did you try any gas and air?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
It's good stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's really good.
So they kind of said, go and have a couple of hours sleep.
Yeah.
And then Steph needed me and the midwife had to go back to Steph and go, I can't wake him up.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Literally can't wake him up. And this midwife sort of woke, you know, sort of went, ah. And it was, but I was just been up, you know, we'd been up for ages. And then
Like
I sort of woke
days
up and
at
I
that
sort of
point.
went back in and but I still remember there was that evening. And I thought I was so out of my depth because I'd never really been around babies or children. I love children. But that baby thing, I just felt like this cumbersome monster. And I'm like holding this little thing. I'm like, my God. And Matilda sort of, you know, we went to sleep and Matilda's in her, you know, in the cot between us. I'm on the camp bed and Steph's fast asleep. And Matilda sort of turned to me and just sort of smiled. It wasn't a smile because they can't smile, but I went.
No, but apparently they can. Apparently they can.
Yeah.
Like, I know people say, oh, it's wind or they can't smile, but apparently babies can smile as young as that. So it was a smile.
And she had like full head of hair, which all fell out. So she was very hairy.
But very much a connection I've noticed with, so my 2 sons, like when they were born, my husband held them and for a while I was getting like stitched up for about 3 days. But then with my daughter, she held, my husband held my daughter for, it seemed like ages. And they were like staring at each other the whole time. And
Yeah,
it was a real connection and I could see it and they have such a bond. And I was thinking it must be like a dad-daughter thing.
Well, you talk about the skin contact, so I just took her out and then she slept on my chest like all night.
I bet that was
And
the
I
most
looked at her and
magical
just went,
feeling.
all right, kid, and I had no idea what I'm doing, but let's attempt this. And she just
Welcome
slept
to
with
the
me.
parenting
Yeah, I don't think
world.
anyone knows what they're doing.
No, parenting failed. No, the one thing I got wrong, first of all. Now, obviously I know women pee. I know how men pee, but I've never actually quite realised or how the women pee situation works. You sit on a toilet, you hear a noise, that thing. Never. Now, you have to sometimes do an outside wee with your children, right? There's no toilet. So Daddy, I need a wee. I was like, I don't want to go to a wee for a wee. And this was, when they were, I was like, okay. We don't, this is when they're potty training. So I called the wife. I was like, there's no reason you have to do an outside wee. That's okay. How's that work? Men's, you aim and you shoot, and we often get it wrong, but it's a very easy thing to. a lot of stuff going down there with women. So I'm like, okay, so I've kind of like, so I've pulled her pants down and as sort of as far as I can, and then I've got her kind of like leg spread, and then I've got my leg spread, and we're thing, and it just went everywhere. It was in my shoes, it was down her, into the, and I was like a sprinkler. It was just like everywhere.
Yep.
It came like, and we just sort of came home. Stefan, what happened here? I was like, well, that's the pee. We tried them outside.
And where were you at this point?
We were in the middle of the park. So of course then we had to go home because I'm covered in pee.
Well, there's
she's
David Gandy
covered
covered in over there.
I probably, we didn't know. I probably forgot. I didn't have a change of clothes. So that was the hard way of learning. Now I'm like,
now you know,
do it with one hand.
But,
like,
but there is a
holding it while talking like someone else. So.
No, but there is a way. I do it where you just literally just like pick them up and they're almost like this. And then they just.
I'm actually nervous because I'm about to start potty training my little girl who's 2.
Yeah.
Just turned 2. And I actually haven't considered this until you've just said it now, because I've got 2 boys and they just wee everywhere.
I think girls are a lot easier though to potty train.
But just to, you obviously have to hold the
When you're
I haven't
you hold the
considered
legs
this.
and then you can get a good. You then get a good check.
As a skill.
Yeah. Now I'm like.
Have you ever tried
accurate.
this is going off piece, but there's something called a shiwi or something, and it's you can you like I take it to festivals and you can literally just put on this plastic thing and you could pee standing up like a man. It is absolutely brilliant,
and it's just a long tube.
It's
and
so
just
freeing to be able to stand up and wee. You don't know how lucky you guys are.
Yeah,
it's
never
amazing.
really thought about that, to be honest. How lucky we are just to pee anywhere.
Just to pee
next
anywhere.
festival, keep away from Louise.
Yeah.
She'll piss all over your feet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, are you out of the tantrum phase? Pretty much, would you say? I mean,
I think Matilda really had them. Tabs had more tantrums.
how
totally
do
different.
you deal with tantrums? Are you quite understand? Are you gentle parenting, or are you just like?
No, I wasn't like my mum and dad weren't particularly that strict, but I think you set the boundaries for everything. I think you do. If you don't nip things in the bud at first, it just prolongs it and produce like problems.
Yeah.
Like going farther on. So my kid and I'm very like sort of proud to say sometimes when we, I've been to meetings and whilst we've been away I take my kids away with us, and then we've just come away for on the business lunch, or it's kind of a meeting, and people have gone, just got to say, David, like your kids have been impeccable, and I thought they weren't taught, but I'm like, I teach them like, you're not having iPads first of all, you have a conversation around the dinner table, and I take colouring stuff and I always make sure they're entertained so they're not bored, but they're just like absolutely impeccable. And then it's very polite. It's like everything I'm always going to hear and say, please, thank you. You don't talk to someone like that. You don't ask someone like that. Go and get it yourself. Go and do this. And
are you like a teeth gritter? Where it's like, say thank you, please, thank you.
No,
I like look at
just
my kids and do
it's-
that if they forget their manners.
I got to a point with my mum and dad where they just needed to give me a look.
Yeah,
There was
the
just
disappointed.
Oh, I
look.
love the look.
you just give the look, and now I kind of just like.
Is your
with them,
look
I'm like,
slightly blue steel though?
well, it seems to work. Matilda will sort of go like, she'll do something, and go like, look at me, and I'm like, Well, sometimes I let it go, and sometimes I. My mum's best threat to me that used to shut me up really quickly, and she was like, just get close home. I'm going to come and take your pants down in front of everyone and smack your bum. Now, as a kid, you go,
Oh, the good old 80s.
and it's not like the smacking thing. You're just like, my mum and dad never smacked me, but it was the threat of my bum being pulled out in front of everyone.
Yeah.
But I don't accept tantrums much, or you have to have them now and again.
Well, we all have them as adults, don't we?
You do.
You know,
I'm
and
having lots of
Absolutely.
tantrums at the moment.
With you personally.
It's my perimenopausal phase. Yeah.
The dads have had that discussion at the school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's your wife. She I was like, no, your.
Really? Did dads talk about it? Oh God! Oh God! I have actually got the patch, and it is brilliant.
And then one dad will come in and go, they're very horny on the patch. It's really good. And then you had this like whole discussion like through the dads. So
that all the dads are buying the patches. Like,
yeah.
what? This
I
is a honey patch.
Get this
Steph,
one.
come
This
here.
one.
Yeah, quick. Close your eyes. I'm patting you down.
That's the stereotypes. But it's a great discussion. That discussion down the pub or at the park, just to have a bit of support
Yeah.
and not think you're going slightly mad as well. Sometimes, like
God,
there's a lot of when babies are born, no one ever tells the husband or explains about the hormones, like not obviously not yours, but your wife's hormones are all over the place. They are before, they are after. No one explains this.
It saves so many arguments. If
And
somebody
you literally
did.
sort of like anyone out there, just to explain after that, just you are probably going to be wrong about everything for the next year. But do me, just put up with it. You literally just go, okay, darling. Now you do sort of see each other, but no one ever explains this about it, and it's really quite important. You could almost do with a patch that gives you the hormones and experience it and go, oh, I get you now. Like I get why nothing is right and it's wrong.
If you could give birth, would you do it? Like, would you take on the pain?
I think that's a
firm no.
No. As a job, I think as a father and a partner, my job in life is to protect those 3 girls from every element, and that includes every bit of pain. So if I could go through something that Steph didn't have to, I would take it. Like, when your kid's ill and you just go, I wish I was ill and I wish I could take this from you. I'll deal with it, but you can't. So that's my because the nature nurture thing of why. Do you ever notice that when your child when they were probably a bit younger, they were crying, your partner didn't wake up. You wake up. Women wake up like this. Now men, as on the other hand, I mean, Steph, did you not hear Matilda? I was like, no, sorry, baby, I was asleep. But if there was a rustle of a random leaf against the window, I am up, cricket bat, outside. You're protecting your little tribe.
Well, once we had, when we were doing our house up and Bradley, my firstborn, was like nearly 1, I woke up, Bradley wasn't crying, but I heard somebody trying to get in the doors downstairs. And I was like, right. But I was still breastfeeding and I had a grey dressing gown, grey nightdress on, like wet
Oh, lovely.
Hair everywhere, makeup down my face because I hadn't done any self-care for about 10 months. So I picked up a crowbar, put the lights on, and I ran at these doors, and they had like a crowbar in towards the inside of the house. So I was like, rah! And literally I could identify these 2 boys. I've never seen anybody as petrified in my life as I'm running up to them with these wet patches on this nightdress, like, ah! Because I thought, oh my God, they're going to try and get my kids. And then I turned around and my husband was stood at Bradley's bedroom door, like, I was like, sorry, Andy, what's happening here? Like, I was about to attack these people with a crowbar, and they obviously ran away because they were so scared of how I looked. But it was that like instinct where I was like, no,
the instinct.
I am going to get them. And nobody ever went to that house ever again, that bungalow. Nobody ever tried to break in again.
Well, good.
Like,
what are you going to be like when your daughters get a boyfriend?
Oh, well, I've had that discussion with Dad. That's quite. You see, I was very good with parents. I was the way I went home and I was like, hello, Mr. Mendoras, Mrs. Mendoras, how are you? Good to meet you and everything else. I was the one who was very respectful, very charming.
Yeah.
But I knew really what was go on.
You weren't there for a chat in the bedroom, were you, David?
There. I wasn't
Come
there.
on.
I don't want that bedroom door
Hello, son. I'm
open.
just going to go upstairs and bang your daughter. Lovely to meet you. I'm David. We all know what's going to happen
So nice
upstairs.
to meet you. This way, is it?
Yeah. Is she ready for me, is she?
Hold the coat, sir. No, I've always discovered if there is,
You're trying hard not to smile here because we're actually talking about your daughters.
Exactly
you
what
can see it in
So
his
if a guy kind of turns up at my door and goes, hello, Mr. Gandy, I'm like, listen, kid.
Yeah. No,
what will you say,
I wrote
though?
the book on this, so don't, no, I think hopefully you bring your children up to that point to make educating good decisions and pick. Then we're going to pick the right person. Let's be honest.
But what if you don't like them?
There is going to be the guy that I. But Steph says her dad was very polite and very nice to all of them. And she tells me about some of her boys, and I talked to her dad now, and he went, "A bloody idiot." got rid of him.
And presumably he likes you.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You might never know. You might never know.
We got on very well. It was a very different time. My dad had his seat in the lounge. You didn't sit in the seat. If you were in the seat, my dad would, he'd just have to stand by you, and you moved over. That was Dad's seat. You watched what Mum and Dad wanted on the television.
Yeah.
You'd be sitting there watching like Newsnight.
It's
like 7. I was like, oh, terrible what's going on in Northern Ireland, Dad, isn't it? It's like, kind of joking, but you didn't watch what you wanted, and trying to get this idea. And my Mum and Dad come and visit now, my dad will sit down. My kids are watching something. It was put the cricket on, and they'll be like, "What's just happened?" Gaga, they call him Gaga, by the way, very good name for him. And he's like, "Yeah, we'll watch cricket," and they watch the cricket with him. Where me, it's just like, "Daddy, can we watch?" I'm like, "Yeah. What do you want on?" Like,
Yeah,
there's so
it's,
much
it's a
change.
totally different
something
style.
or other now,
Yeah.
which I seem to be dancing.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Whether this and I'm trying to tell myself this now, is not be too protective. I think we are so scared to let our children even out the front door now.
Yeah.
At 8 or 9 years old, I was on a bike going through Billericay, traveling 5 miles, and my parents were like, "Where are you going?" We're like, "Going to Anthony's house." So cool, give us a call. Like when I would call them at tea time, like I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going
Come
to
home when
Anthony's
it's dark.
house."
When the street lights come on, you need to come home.
Yeah. And I just think we need to allow our kids a bit more freedom. And I think that's advice for all of us, really. At a younger age, it's just, I think with all parents, I sort of say to them, I say, "Don't worry, no one knows what they're doing.
No one
gets it right. We all parent in a different way. Generally, everyone turns out okay."
Yeah.
But
Have
yeah,
you got a
don't
parenting
panic.
hack? Anything you do that you think, oh, that would be beneficial for other parents?
I created, from day one, a Matilda and Tabitha, them separate ones, but now they sleep together, playlist. So when they go to sleep. So when they're tired, when they're just about sleeping, you put the playlist on. So they always fall asleep to these songs. Now, they then associate these songs with going to sleep. And if there is a time when they're just not going to sleep, there's been a few times, I'm like, right. One of them was in Greece once. I was in the car, playlist on, straight to sleep.
Really?
So I use this kind of thing, and they still have this. And like, Matilda's like, "Dad, I'm not really tired. Can you put the playlist on?"
Oh,
And she just associates
So
it with
like,
these
is it
songs.
Paul McKenna, the hypnotist? You will go to sleep now.
I'm not sure if that were. I mean, that kind of.
That's such a
But
great tip.
it is. But I also think you gave some really good advice as well earlier for the men that are listening that are about to become fathers. Is understand your partner's hormones, because they are going to be all over the place. And the fact that you could
understanding them, you have to understand that the hormone, and they are all over the place and high and low.
Yeah.
It's just that how can I understand them? You can't, because you're not explained. I would love an actually go, an explanation of why and how they're going to work and how they. But everyone is different.
Yeah.
And every woman is affected differently by it. So
did Steph do anything crazy?
she definitely had what's called like memory. Just complete memory,
Loss.
not loss or just not quite sure.
Baby
like,
brain.
Baby brain.
There
baby
is science
brain.
behind that,
It is
actually.
100% a thing.
I can't remember what it is. Baby brain.
Yeah.
I've got baby brain now. I've got perimenopause brain. You get brain fog with that as well, which is great. The amount of times I sit and go, "What's that word again that I want to say?" And I'm like, "I can't remember
Or what's
it."
that person's name? We've said this before. We're so bad with names.
Like, what? Yeah.
But I used to be great before I had kids, and then I'd go to the fridge and be like, "Oh my god, what was I doing?" And then I hear the kettle click.
Do you
I'm
ever
like,
open up the
"Oh, I was
fridge
making
and
a
just
drink."
go, "I don't know why I've opened this."
Like, oh, why is a baby in
But
there?
I do that
Come
now. I
here.
think that's age. I walk into a room
maybe
and
it's
go,
age,
"What am I
yeah.
here for?"
Yeah, yeah.
Really
Maybe
forgetful.
it probably is age, actually.
But I also think that's raising kids, tiredness,
Yeah.
exhaustion. I mean, that's the other thing as well. I sort of said you are going to get to a point, I said to parents that neither of you have slept for days. And you've got to realise they use sleep deprivation as torture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've got to
Absolutely.
realise that, sometimes you do feel like losing your absolute rag. And I said, at that point, whatever the child's crying, should be, just take yourself off, close the door for 20 seconds, have a breath, and go back in.
Yeah.
Because at that point where you just go, I don't know what, I can't handle it, and you just have to go and have a bit of,
That's so
Well, that's
good
brilliant
advice.
advice.
It
Just
really
there.
is.
That's brilliant
Yeah.
advice. Just because every parent would go through that.
No, sleep is even to the point like where Steph is, as women you're doing then this nurture, breastfeeding, the baby, you are redundant as a father first of all, and I think women sometimes have to understand that how men feel very redundant.
Because
I mean,
you
feel
go
like a
down the
trained
pecking
chimp.
order.
I mean, pretty much
Yeah.
like, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a sandwich? No, well, I'm kind of out here then. Not out here, but I can't, it's up to you.
Yeah.
And so you do have to do so much stuff. But so Steph was, in the first few months, asleep with the baby, breastfeeding, and just so she got a good night's sleep, she'd have the baby there and falling asleep. And that is just a situation that you're only going to be a hindrance in that situation. You're taking up room, you can't help. So when we were building our house, we just given birth to Tabs. I just left that. I didn't have a place to sleep. Matilda had this little room because we had to go in Steph's little old flat whilst the house being built. I slept on the floor for 3 months. I've just been like a dog trying to find somewhere to sleep. Like if everyone else is asleep, good. And I'd be like, right, on a sofa, or turning up on a rug. I'd be like, oh, that's good. And Dora comes up, and that's how you sleep. You, as long as I think sleep. If your partner can get sleep. Steph, I'm fine without sleep. Steph is awful. Steph needs to sleep. So you have to work out those little things.
Yeah. Working in partnership.
Yeah. And Steph, I need my time to be on my own. I find groups, people, parties, events, everything, it's too much.
Yeah.
So I'm a solitary person, and Steph will understand that. I'm taking the dog for a walk. And
you just want to be in the garden, cutting your grass.
Well, I just kind of want, but the great thing is as well is with kids, and they do it in Sweden, is cold air.
Yeah.
Getting kids out into cold air and sleep. It's so I used to have, and with Matilda, I had a front pack, then the backpack, then the bigger backpack, and then in the end I had tabs either on the front or back, and then pushing Matilda and pram, and I would just take them and the dog. And it would get us all out. It would give Steph a few hours rest, and I would just walk over. We used to in Fulham. I'd walk over to Barnes. I'd be gone for 3 hours. As long as you got enough supplies, and the kids would just sleep.
Yeah, that's
I had
lovely.
Tabs asleep on there, and Matilda asleep in front, and then you find yourself, and then you've actually got to rest. You're sitting there and going, right, okay, everyone's asleep. That's good. I mean, there are times also when both of them have complete meltdowns. You've forgotten the nappy. One themselves, the other one's puked up. They're both screaming. People think you've kidnapped them, and you're like, "What am I doing? This is awful." But
I mean, if you still wanted to do the 3-hour walk, I have got 3 children in Loughborough.
Yeah, I was going to say. You sound like
fantastic.
you've absolutely cracked parenting, being a dad.
No.
You're a great dad,
Absolutely
and
not.
we've absolutely loved you.
Yeah,
We've loved
thank
you
you
Thanks
so
so
much.
much
Thank you
for
coming on.
so
Really
much for coming
appreciate
on.
it.
You've actually really shared some really great advice.
Oh, that's kind.
And
now we know what presents we can buy our partners is some new pants. For
Absolutely.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
No, but thank you, David, so much for being
Thanks,
here.
guys.
Thank you
Always
very
a
much.
pleasure.
David Gandy, everyone. We haven't done the shimmy for a while.
I know we haven't, have we?
Thank you again for all your messages. Please keep sending them in. We love them so much. And the best way for us to see them is to comment on YouTube. We read them all.
Honestly, I read them like bedtime stories, like terrifying, chaotic bedtime stories.
And a big, big thank you to our fantastic sponsor, Carve Factory, for making this episode possible. If you love listening to our guests, our fails, and your own fails, then please do subscribe to No Parental Guidance on YouTube so that you never, ever miss an episode. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.